Now, as I just mentioned, dozens have been arrested in the LA area for stealing from homes after residents evacuated. In Malibu, one suspect was even dressed, get this, as a firefighter. And in Mandeville Canyon, 2 thugs were caught on the homeowner's Ring camera.
2 of these individuals is on the night of both January 8th and the early morning hours of January 9th. They went ahead and committed first-degree residential burglary and looting. They stole over $200,000, as been alleged by the charging documents.
Joining me now is Alex Villanueva, former sheriff of LA County. Sheriff, police are already overwhelmed as it is. Friends of mine in Encino are sending me wild videos. It looks like a military lockdown there, but they're actually glad about that because they saw a lot of looters in their neighborhood. How should they combat this looting?
Well, one thing is getting the National Guard involved to free up the checkpoints and the perimeters around the evacuation zones is one thing. Then you got to get law enforcement to patrol the perimeters and do the traffic stops, look at suspicious people. And doing that enforcement activity is you're going to start discovering all these looters. And unfortunately, a lot more got away than the ones that got arrested because the size of the looting has not really been very accurately reported. It's substantial, and the lack of law enforcement personnel on the ground is very noticeable. Well,
friends of mine in Mulholland, kind of above Encino Hills, that way towards Studio City, they were literally texting me going, we just saw looters, or looters were in our neighborhood about 3 hours ago. We called, we couldn't get anyone. They're overwhelmed. So, and Sheriff, it's a long-winded way of saying, is some of the previous permissive approach to, stealing and theft, is that also part of the mindset here in the thug community, that they're probably not going to get caught? Even if they did get caught, they're not going to do any real hard time.
Well, 4 years of Gascon's policies, the zero bail schedule, catch and release, the criminal mindset is still stuck in that narrative. And God bless DA Hockman. He's trying to reverse that trend, but he's still fighting against the basically catch and release bail schedule imposed by the Superior Court here in LA County. So there's a lot of uphill battle that still need to be fought, but primarily the lack of law enforcement personnel, both the Sheriff's Department and LAPD, they're down about 3,000 between the 2 of them. That's 3,000 sworn. And that means you have skeleton crews when you should have a full complement.
Well, just from the number of people I'm talking to out there, and these people have already evacuated, right? But they went back to see what the neighborhood looked like. They said the idea that there are dozens of looters, they say there are hundreds of looters, Sheriff. And I think people watching this and seeing the heartache and the tears of thousands and thousands of Los Angeles residents given these fires, they want real penalties. And maybe it'll be new laws in place. In an emergency setting, if you loot, it's mandatory sentence of X. The people have to figure it out. But don't you think there has to be more penalties in place and more severe penalties?
Yes, but the LA County Board of Supervisors pushed their Care First, Jail Last agenda, which is the exact opposite of what the community wants, and they never voted for that. So now we're going to have the impact of ideology versus reality.
Yeah, common sense. Sheriff, you and I have talked about that a lot over the years. We have the death of common sense in America, and you're seeing it play out. But there are a lot of good people who are trying to stop this madness, and we wish them the very best. Yes. Sheriff, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.